Hey everyone, welcome to another Hypnotique video. Today's video is hot, you know why? We're gonna talk about fashion terms, those words everyone says, everyone hears around. Hype, look, trend, pret-a-porter. And we don't know what they mean. You know what it is if you translate the word, but sometimes we don't know when to use it. So roll the intro, Sabrina, because today we've got it. Hi, I'm Fabiola Casson, and you're on the Hypnotique channel, the coolest channel around. Go ahead and subscribe now. Here, guys, is the end of the line. We've got the website, we've got Instagram, we've got Pinterest with tons of boards for you to check out, and there's a ton of awesome content. I'm gonna start with the word look. Guys, look is ridiculous. I can't stand using it anymore. But it's not about saying it or not saying it. The question is, what is it used for? I'm not gonna say, wow, what a nice outfit. When I want to sum up everything, all of it in the overall context, shoes, clothes, necklace, earrings, blah, 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 I just say, wow, your look is amazing. I know it's overused, but honestly, it's a lot to keep saying, oh, the outfit of the day, today's look. The look actually isn't just the clothes, it's the whole context, the image you're projecting, the jewelry, the shoes, everything. Got it, girls and boys? Now let's move on to another word, which is hype. It comes from the word hyperbole in English, which means extravagant, unique, eccentric, grand. So what happens? What is heightening? It's about being unique, being exclusive, something everyone wants. That's the general idea, right? And there are a lot of young people today who say, oh, it's so tacky to use the word hype. It doesn't make sense anymore. Hype isn't even hype anymore. But actually, it's also a context. When something unique is released, when there are these sneaker drops and all that, it makes that product become hype. It makes it unique. So if someone is wearing that hype look, that whole outfit with a certain piece, people say, wow, that person is so hype. Oh, I wanna get into this hype world. You start getting ready, getting your wallet ready, because this world is expensive since these are unique things, exclusive things, extravagant things. Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're not, but that's how it is. Because, we could also take, I don't know, a millionaire who's super tacky and say tacky's tacky, right? Tacky, like tacky is another word in Portuguese that's great to use, but the fashion world hardly ever uses it. Tacky sums up, in just one word, a whole lot of things, right, guys? Tell me about it. Money, you can have money, whatever. If you're someone who doesn't know how to shop and all that, it's not because of that you're hype. So it's not because you have all the money in the world and you're all decked out that you're gonna be hype. No, on the contrary, it comes across differently. And then people are gonna see it differently, as tacky, not as hype. Hype is right here, guys. Hype is something super exclusive, really cool. That's what brands are trying to achieve when they say they wanna be hype. Oh, I want to be hype. I want to get into the hype world. That's kind of it. Unique, exclusive, cool, awesome. Cool is really old-fashioned too, right? I'm tacky, not hype. It's not used that much these days, but it still is. Like, mainstream people use it a lot. Another word that also falls into that category? Oh, when something hits the mainstream, it's because a trend started here, or an exclusive piece of clothing, or a brand that was only used by that little group at the top of the pyramid, the people who spot things before everyone else, the more visionary types. They start to see it as a trend. They use it at the top of the pyramid, and then the people at the bottom go and start reproducing it more consistently, mixing things up, like clothing pieces or even the trend itself. So now I'm gonna wear red with orange, and then the people at the top notice it's cool, and the people at the bottom start wearing it too. And then when that person in the middle translates the trend for the masses, when it finally reaches the masses, if you're just now seeing a one-shoulder top out on the streets, it's because those people have already been wearing it for a year, I don't know, for a long time. This channel here, guys, is amazing because if you look back at videos from a year ago, they're still super current. So the moment a trend comes out, when it's talked about and mentioned by a lot of people in fashion, it's not always the same moment when the masses are actually wearing it. So when it reaches the masses, those masses are called the mainstream. Now it's hit the mainstream. That means the guy at the top of the pyramid won't want to wear it anymore because everyone else is wearing it. Before, he wanted it because it was exclusive. And then it became hype. Now the mainstream is wearing it. See how you can wear anything, guys? This is the mainstream. Another word we use for trend is trend. A lot of people say trend and a lot of people say tendencia. But what is a trend today? So if you go on TikTok or anywhere else and search for the hashtag trend, what's trending right now? What's trending today? What's trending this week? You get it, right? It's not confusing, is it? Am I confusing you more, or am I making things clearer? When we talk about high-low, I always talk about high-low here on the channel, and you need to understand it. Because here's the thing. No, you don't have to do anything, okay? Do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. I'm just here sharing some things with you that I think are cool, that I think are interesting. High-low in English is high, which means a lot, and low, which means low or little. It's the opposite of one and the other. It's a way to play around with your outfit of the day. So let's say, oh, I want to wear some really ripped jeans. Okay, so I'd say to you, oh, then do a high-low. On the bottom, you wear something grungy, and on top, you wear something more put together. And that breaks out the look a bit. So the high is here, right? It would be like a tailored shirt with the low, which is the more ripped, distressed piece. That's why when you go all in on just one style, you either look super flashy or just like terrible. Like you're wearing all old, worn out clothes, or I don't know, everything just looks ripped. So like if I wear all ripped clothes, people will say, wow, what happened to Fabiola? Poor thing. Or if I wear something super flashy, really dressed up with lots of jewelry and everything, then I'm way too high. When we find that balance, that's what's cool. That's the high-low. It's about knowing how to use this high-low so you can use it to your advantage. So you pair tailored clothes with sneakers, that's high-low. You're wearing tailoring, which is more like fancy, and then you put on sneakers instead of dress shoes. And then you do the high-low and it looks cooler or more modern. Another word we use a lot, pop-up. Oh, that store opened a pop-up right there on the corner. What is a pop-up? It's a store that opened a temporary space somewhere. So they opened a pop-up, which is gonna open and then close. Just imagine, the word sounds funny because it is. It's pop-up. So it's something temporary to fill that spot, which used to belong to someone else or whatever. They set up a pop-up for that store, or that brand did a pop-up at Hotel X during the summer because it's a place that's gonna generate sales and all that, and it's a store with a concept. So usually everything gets mixed together, but basically in that case, it's about opening and closing a store temporarily. So don't get your hopes up if you see something really cool because it's gonna close. Sometimes I get really annoyed, and usually sometimes brands choose unusual places to open that pop-up to create a buzz in people's minds. So like brand X opened on that much talked about corner, blah, blah, blah. So that's totally a marketing strategy. And when we talk about dress code, like what's the dress code for your cocktail party? What's the dress code for today? Which is basically like, what's the code, that you're supposed to wear? What are they asking for there? Are they asking for full formal wear or smart casual? There are all these categories that really get mixed up. Honestly, guys, I don't really read those lines on the invitations. So dress code is always when you kind of have to wear that specific thing, like it's mandatory. So let's say I'm going to work at a super corporate company, really conservative. What's the dress code, Fabiola? Then grandma says, the dress code is as formal as it gets. Don't you dare show up in like Birkenstocks, jeans, and a plaid shirt. I'll smack you. The dress code, actually deep down in your subconscious, is there for you to show people the image you want to project, what you want to communicate with those clothes. Sometimes you're sending the wrong message. I've sent the wrong message plenty of times, many times. So like, what is the dress code asking for at the wedding? Is it on the beach? What are they asking for? Full formal attire, full formal. There's always smart casual, that kind of thing. Then when we talk about the cores, right? Oh, now it's Barbiecore. But why do they call it Barbiecore or Gorpcore? We've made several videos here about different cores. It's the context of a look. So instead of saying look, you say core. It would be the soul of that trend, the soul of that outfit, that style. So when I say, oh, she was totally Barbiecore, what does that mean? That she was dressed in that Barbie-inspired style. So it's everything that involves that world, that context. Then we talked about pearlcore, which was all about pearls. So pearl necklaces, pearls on shirts, pearls everywhere you can imagine. So it's all kind of the context of the thing, as we call it. And everyone kind of stopped using it for a while, but it stuck around for quite a long time. And finally, wrapping up this video, otherwise it's gonna get way too long. If you guys like it, I'll make a part 2. Last but not least is the acronym Y2K. Now, see if it makes sense why this acronym is so widely used. Because at the turn of the millennium, everyone was saying there could be a system error in the computers, that everything would go down the drain, that everything would end, all that, blah, blah, blah. It was called the millennium bug. Furiously, right? Because then came a kind of glitch generation. That's what it would be, right? And then they nicknamed it Y2K. So since this acronym came from the turn of the millennium, they use this acronym for almost everything from the 2000s. Whenever they want to talk about trends, blah, blah, blah from the 2000s, they use this darn acronym, just so you understand that it has nothing to do with it. If you want to talk about the 2000s, you can, but it's really about the turn of the millennium. But actually, it came from the millennium bug that everyone talks about. Everyone panicked because they thought everything was going to end, data would be erased and all that. Well, guys, that's it. I hope you liked it. I went on for too long, but if you liked it, I'll do a part 2, okay? The mission? The chaos. Oh, she's sleepy now. Ugh, guys, my head is a mess today. Let's get to the hype. This video is hype. Being subscribed to Hypnotique YouTube is hype. Did you know that? Oh, I lost my train of thought for a moment there. What was I talking about again? I forgot. What a pain.